Although post-war planning is difficult, it is not impossible, but it needs to have resources, it needs to have time to succeed. If the war is to end with something that makes a better outcome for the Israeli people, for the Palestinian people, and for the entire Middle East. And there are signs that talks are underway, but those talks need to be accelerated because there will be need to try to prevent the kind of strategic looting that we've seen in Bosnia and Iraq. There will be an immediate need to restore the most basic of services, and there need to be the kinds of basic infrastructure restoration that clearly need a great deal of planning. The Israeli government will need to be involved. Other international governments will need to lend assistance, but it's clear that the amount of immediate reconstruction is going to be considerable. Hamas has a culture of corruption that controls much of the money that flows into and through Gaza. That has to be stopped. However, what needs to go in its place? There needs to be a way of basic finance and of the way businesses can restock their shelves with the goods that are essential to restoring civilian life. And it's striking as we watch the different views of the respective sides. We are nowhere near a consensus right now on what this future will look like. There have been four basic scenarios that many experts have outlined. One is an Israeli occupation. The Israelis have made it clear they do not want to occupy Gaza. The second option would be to turn Gaza immediately over to the Palestinian Authority based in Ramallah. But there have been criticisms raised about that, including from Gazans, because of some of the challenges that the Palestinian Authority has, even operating on the West Bank. It's noteworthy that the United States has said ultimately Gaza should go back to the Palestinian Authority, but implying that there's a period of transition. The third option is for some kind of international authority. Authorities have mixed records of success. Nevertheless, I think the most likely outcome at this point is for some kind of international authority. The question is, how will that work? Who are its powers? Who will lead it? Who will fund it? Who will staff it? Begin to see the practical questions that have to be addressed. The fourth outcome is nobody is responsible for Gaza, that Israel simply seals off the borders and seacoasts and let the Gazans fend for themselves. That, I think most people would agree, is one of the worst possible options to be considered. And it's going to quickly become apparent that someone actually does need to undertake this responsibility and then start to put together the kind of international efforts that are going to be needed to make Gaza into something better than what it was prior to October 7th.